So thank you for that. So it's a great little tool, Slido, when it comes to the polls. It's a great tool when it comes to the Q&A, which we're now going into, because we're now going into our panel where we're going to talk about AI on the move, reimagining travel through machine intelligence. And we have 4 people joining me on stage. Just checking, I have 4 chairs, I do. 4 people joining us on stage from different types of industries. So I'm just going to introduce them very quickly and then invite them up to the stage. So we have Franziska Maynard, who's a regional manager at Visit Qatar. And she's got over 20 years of experience in hospitality and travel and mega events industry. She was very involved in, an event we all know, which was the FIFA World Cup in Qatar, where she had a key role in the sale and distribution of accommodation options. And I had a role there myself. It was not an easy job she had there, I tell you that. She's now regional manager for international markets at Visit Qatar and is looking to expand Qatar as a premium destination for tourism. We have Anna Neumeister, who's an old friend of ours, young person, but old friend. She is a regional vice president of agency and distribution for Hahn Airlines. She is a true global person who speaks numerous languages, including, of course, Swedish, which we us Danes, we don't care about. But she is the VP of Agency Distribution. Hahn Air is, as I think you all know by now, involved in distribution services and ticketing solutions, has over 350 partner airlines, so also working with the global industry, which is Anna's passion. And because she is so multicultural, she can certainly give us a global insight. She's only one of our bios where she's actually stressed how happy she is with her husband and family. So isn't that nice? Very good. And then we have Irina Haselmann, who's the managing director of Eurowings Holidays. And this is, of course, a new wing to Eurowing, because this is the newly established tour operator of Germany's largest leisure airline. And she is involved in the strategic development and the operational expansion of this, and it's only been launched April 1 this year. So this is definitely something new, and I'm sure that when you have something new, then you will have AI deeply involved. She has been working with the digital team since 2018 of Eurowings, and there she has helped to expand the revenue growth of Eurowings, and now moved into the holidays. She comes with a background also of travel agencies, worked in Dare Touristic and Dare Tour, so she brings a very strong experience and expertise in product management, and we look forward to hearing from her. And finally, we have Nico Ghabi, who has joined us. Some of you have already heard him. He is the director of AI at Gant Travel, but working on transferring data into the business advantage. And my first question, which will be asked in a second, will be to him: should every travel agency have a director of AI? I'm not going to do a poll because I think I know the result, but that will be interesting to hear. He truly comes to us with a wealth of knowledge within this field. Has been a forerunner. We talked about who was the pioneer and who's the follower. He's the pioneer. He brings things to the table before other people think about them, and has done that in many different industries, including travel, healthcare, insurance, and technology, and drive the strategies through bridge innovation with real impact. So we're delighted that besides the masterclasses that he's giving us, that he agreed to join us on the panel. Welcome our 4 panelists to the stage. I hope you notice how well this is planned. They all know exactly where to sit, and I mean, yeah, this takes months of planning. So very good. Welcome to the stage, and welcome to this panel. We've heard a little bit about AI this morning, and we will hear much more, and it will be part of our lives forever. So maybe I will start by asking you, generally, you know, what if there's any comments on what you heard this morning, anything that has sort of alerted your senses to, my God, I should be doing that, or my God, that sounds stupid. And so maybe just as a quick introduction, if there's anything you've heard, or you can just simply tell us how you're approaching AI from your own companies. Anna, I'll start with you.
I'll start. Okay. I think what really comes to my mind listening to all these presentations for the past few days is that we just need to keep a very open mind. I think the development is going so fast, and looking back at my young days when I first started in this industry, I was still basically working, you know, with the old Apple computer, and looking at where we are today, even my cell phone has changed. And we have to take it step by step and learn so many things in a very, very short time. Now, as it comes to Hahn Air, I don't know how many people know that we are a airline ticketing solution company. We're very global. And it's complex with artificial intelligence because we work with so many airlines, and very exotic airlines sometimes. So at Hahn Air now we're using a chat, and we started with that not too long ago, so we continue to invest on that. That will help clients, travel agencies who are our clients because we are B2B. Is helping them to find quick answers, easy answers, and help our service desk take away the simple tasks. But we're going to continue to invest in advanced chatbots as well. So we're working on that now, for sure, that become more personalized, where we maybe even have, let's say, suggestions when there are disruptions, delays, cancellations, and things like that. So we need to work on that, for sure.
Good. I'll come back to chatbots in a second. Sometimes it's the hate of my life, and sometimes they're very useful, but let's come back to that.
I agree with you.
Franziska, so from your point of view, different part of the world, does it make any difference at all, or how are you approaching their AI?
For Visit Qatar, it's hugely important. So, I mean, for us, digital development is really visitor-focused. Something I also took away from the presentation of the Munich airport, the human-centric approach to it. And it's really to make travel easier to the destination. I mean, we're very fortunate. We have one of the fastest internet infrastructures in the world. In Doha, we have 5G absolutely everywhere. So that really allows us to connect the traveler on every touch point with digital experiences, which is what we're working on.
And what you heard this morning, is that exciting you or frightening
Exciting,
you?
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, incredible how fast it's going. That's.
I know. So you're in a new venture. I mean, it's not that holidays haven't been tried before, but under the name of Eurowings maybe. Are you approaching this with AI in mind already, or how are you looking at it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you're building up a company in 2025, there are like certain aspects where, yeah, in these times you have the opportunity to take decisions where you want to put the focus, and it is a very hard decision to, for example, set up an organization with where repetitive tasks or any operational tasks, you would hire people for that. So our focus in the beginning, you always have to start, really start thinking, are you focusing on your internal processes optimization, or are you going to the customer-facing touch points? As we are starting and setting up, our initial start was really to focus on processes and be efficient internally. And start and test a little bit on the customer front, and that's basically what we did. So focusing on the opportunities you have to be more efficient, to use the technology you have, the data that you have, but also do it step by step. If you have still gaps in your digitalization or in the way you're using data in general, that's also the point to start. Don't immediately jump to the huge bubble or try to go for the big bang.
Okay, well, we'll talk maybe a bit later about how it will evolve and where we'll be in a few years' time. So I already told you what I was going to ask you the first question, so I'll stick to my word. Is Director of AI something that every travel company should have?
I don't think so. But what they should have is somebody looking at the process. And similar to Anna, what we look at is, we've been strategic. We looked at our customer journey, our agent journey, and we identify where are the bottlenecks, where are the places where AI could change the way we are operating. So we started with the current process, we optimize it, we improve it, we reduce by 50 minutes the time spent by agent handling cases on a daily basis. We also shorten by in half the handling case for booking, cancellation, and modification. So those are optimizing our existing process, and coming further, we will be looking at customer-facing AI, which is a lot more complicated. And I think my colleagues here know that AI can hallucinate, can do a lot of weird things, and that's why we kept it inside our walls, and our agents are using it on a daily basis.
So what comes first, reducing the time spent, like you said, the 50 minutes, or the customer experience?
I think it depends where your company is. For us, we wanted quick wins very early in the development. A lot of companies, as you said, they want Skynet. They want an AI that will be running the whole organization. That's not going to happen. It needs to be step by step. It needs to be calculated. You need to understand what is your flow. And for us, we've seen that we spend a lot of money and we have a lot of friction during the handling of cases. Something that should take 15 minutes was taking an hour. So for us, it was important to first streamline our processes, having AI optimizing it, and then we can enhance further the user experience. By the way, optimizing the process was accelerating our SLA, which increased our NPS.
Okay. Has any of the rest of you got a director of AI, or is it the people that are already in technology, you're just letting them run with it?
We have a digital team for us, sorry. Yeah, we have a digital team who's leading all these processes, all digital development. But
Okay,
not the
and
director
it's part of the strategy now? It's
Yes,
part of,
it is.
So the management is heavily involved and know what's going on?
Yes.
For us, it's basically, I mean, at Eurowings, we are trying to actually build a network across the entire organization that is enabled with AI. And the important part is that it's not in one function, but that you spread it across the organization and that you inspire the people to think about the problems they have on the daily basis and help them to solve it. And I think that is the key to success. It doesn't really, I've never seen it work in an organization where it's completely isolated, apart from the fact if it's a very small organization, of course. But in a group like ours, you need to spread the word and also get all the brain power in. And train the team, because you need different kind of skills if you want to be successful in that game, and make sure that you get those skills, that you bring them together, that you get the exchange and communication between the more established expertise and knowledge on the existing product and combine it with the new technologies. That's key.
Yeah, we have a digital team.
Yeah, okay, yeah, just go.
We have thank you. We have a digital team that is working on this specifically, trying to improve internal processes, client service, and that really spreads into all our areas, such as agency distribution, airline management, or the service desk, second-level support, and things like that. So, yeah,
Okay,
one step after one.
I guess it's difficult. I don't know if you have experience in that, Nico. You know, you can do all the strategies and get the people, and I found often in technology that the people that really understand it run so much faster than the person on the ground or the person that's going to use it. Mm-hmm. I mean, how do you ensure in Gant that you get all the staff, up to scratch on what is being developed in your department?
Change management is key. I mean, regardless of any technology, AI is even more critical than any other technology. You have essentially people that might be replaced by the technology that need to embrace it. That's reality. So the leadership needs to be strong, to enforce and to drive the change in the organization. Now, it doesn't mean that the agent will disappear. They will not disappear. AI is not 100% correct all the time and needs to be. Most of the customer interaction needs to be handled by human, because you want to have this human touch and this added value that you bring as an agency, as a TMC, as a leisure company. But the people that can use the AI will be much faster, much more efficient than their colleague. We have different tools that help our agent write emails in seconds instead of 15, 20 minutes. Now they just write a few words. The AI look at all the conversation, look at our product, look at the booking engine, and generate an email for them. So the agents that are using that, they handle a lot more cases than the one that don't. So now, from a management point of view, we are adding new KPIs that the team needs to achieve. And they can achieve it only if they use the AI. So that has been our way to try to get more adoption within our operation team.
Okay, there is this question from the audience specifically for you, which is, how does a day as a director of AI look like? I'm curious because I haven't come across this position before.
It's very similar to a head of product. So the idea is, I need to understand end-to-end how the company is operating. Today, what we are doing, we're putting AI in existing processes, in existing product. Tomorrow, what we are thinking about is, what is a world of AI-first agency, where the AI is actually driving the business and the agents are just completing small tasks, instead of the other way around, where agents are picking the task and using the AI to complete it. And it means a complete redesign and reinvention of how we are building the technology stack. And what our colleagues earlier were talking about, having a centralized way to have all your data in one place, accelerate this process. And that's what we are also doing on our side, having all our data sources connected to a central point where our AI can tap onto. Otherwise, what you end up having is looking at every single vendor, every single API and database, and looking at how you can accelerate the integration with those systems so your AI can be more efficient and more useful for the team.
I guess it also, it does send a message to the outside world that your agency is ahead of the game and wants to be, a forerunner. The fact that even that you have this, the foresight to have that title. But it's certainly something that is food for thought, I think, for everybody in the room, how they should approach, if it's through a title or through a strategy. I think it's an interesting thought to hear how other people are doing it. So there's another question from the audience. Thank you, Anna, about using predictive learning models. You already talked a little bit about sending emails. I don't know if any of the rest of you have tried any predictive learning within your companies, or if you have other success stories that you've seen used in travel in terms of using AI.
Yeah, we, for example, do. Also at Eurowings in general, it's machine learning. Or machine learning models are not entirely new. It's not what I would call, or what is under the bubble of AI, which has been more prominent in the last 2 to 3 years. But the airline industry basically has been using machine learning models in pricing over for many years, and the only thing that changed is that they got significantly smarter over time, because you have more data points and you have a better understanding on the customer and the customer behavior and preferences. And we have, for example, at my previous role at Eurowings, I was responsible for ancillary pricing, and we introduced machine learning pricing models in 2020, roughly. And they've been very successfully scaled, and there was a huge opportunity, and that would have never been possible without that piece of technology.
Okay. Any of you seen anything cool in travel in terms of AI that you really think, wow, that's impressive?
I use Mindtrip, which is an AI tool for travel planning, and I think that's really good because it's conversational, so it makes it really seamless. It's easy. You put what you want to do, and it just gives you an output that you wouldn't have thought of, so it makes planning really simple.
Okay. I've just started using a program called Fathom, which is an AI assistant, and it is mind-blowing. We've used that word a few times over the last few days, but the fact that you finish a meeting, and not only is it recorded, it gives me the summary, it gives me the action points, and it is incredibly accurate as to giving me, and it especially saves me having to write notes. I mean, if I had it here, I wouldn't have to sit and write notes here all the time to remind me, so I can be totally free to be in the meeting because I know somebody else is actually taking accurate notes and action points from the meetings. I love that, I have to say. So there's always, somebody who has to ask the negative questions, but they've stayed anonymous. So there was somebody who asked, I think the question has just disappeared, but never mind, it's there, about things that have gone wrong in AI. And we saw a few examples, on the screen just before with Munich Airport about somebody gets sued for this or gets sued for that. Is it something you're concerned about, and how you cover yourself? Is there liability insurance in AI? You're nodding away here.
So we were very aware of the limit of AI. I mean, what you have to bear in mind is it will be 90% accurate. It means that how are you going to handle the 10%? And it could be in different ways. Internally, so that's why I was talking about internal optimization. If you run the AI for your internal team, well, your people can fix things before it goes out. And that's a way to handle the 10%. When it goes to a customer, the way we do it is we mix experience. We don't do everything through chat. We mix our chat with our booking engine, with our travel portal, with all the tech stack we have. So we transfer we try to have a one-touch interface. So people send an email, they request a booking, the AI understands what they want, return 3 alternatives. If those alternatives are not what they want, they press on the button, they are transferred to our booking engine with already everything filtered for their profile, their travel policy, and everything, and they can finalize their booking. In a world where you have only chat, you will have another 5 back and forth, person frustrated, and then they give up on using your tool. So there is many different mechanisms you can use to try to handle this, and we try to don't have the AI, again, being a customer-facing and having a risk of providing wrong information.
I always get nervous when you talk about 90%, when people talk about averages, I'm also 90% correct, but nobody knows when the 10% occurs. I actually asked ChatGPT if it was always correct. I asked it 10 times, and 9 times it said yes, and the 10th time it said no. So it was 90% correct. But that's always an issue. You mentioned chatbot, Anna, first, and there's been quite a few questions coming in about AI replacing staff and some of the things that the chatbot, I do get frustrations with chatbot giving me answers on things that I didn't ask about. But of course that gets improved all the time when they understand what I mean. Lots of people don't understand what I mean, so I don't blame the chatbot. But how do you see, in terms of staffing, people are afraid of layoffs? Where do you see us going in terms of will it replace people?
Well, I think there's 2 answers here that I would like to provide. The first one is the fear about chatbots. We do need to be aware that there are good chatbots and there are bad chatbots. The bad ones are definitely out there that we need to closely monitor, like data overload, or also wrong information.
Go on.
Yeah, faulty information, maybe wrong pricing. So we have to closely monitor that. So I trust, or I'm convinced that our digital team is keeping a very close eye on that and constantly monitor it. I think that's very, very important. When it comes to chatbots itself, on the good side, it lets an agent, our service desk, for instance, really focus on the more complex issues. I think that's really important because we often do get questions that can't really be answered with a simple chatbot question. It can just be, how do I process a refund? Or they could literally find that out on our website, but just typing in that question has become so common among people today. And retrieving data that way, just asking a question. So that does help our service desk. So they can focus on flight disruptions, which can be so disruptive and complex. Finding solutions there because the passenger might be at the airport and is in complete panic. So they can focus on that, what is really important for customer service and will also be good for our clients.
Okay.
Then, yeah, what was the other?
We'll come back
No,
to it in
I
a
think,
second.
I think,
We'll come
yeah,
back
I
to
think
it in
I
a
answered everything, really, actually.
second. Yeah, okay, that was it. You answered everything.
I did, right? Yeah, thank you.
Where do you see in Eurowings in terms of staffing? Do you, I mean, I won't ask you if you're planning any layoffs, but I mean, especially in a new company, are you sort of planning on having, you know, less staff and more technology?
I think you need to, I mean, an organization is in constant change and there's always development. And I think you need to use those opportunities to develop the organization in the right direction. First, you need people who have an understanding of the technology, who understand what is possible and what is not possible, and who can help the organization move into the right direction. That's the one thing. The question is, do you have those talents today? Do you have talents that you can develop in that direction? But you will for sure need that solution-oriented mindset in your organization if you want to succeed. Then, yeah, obviously there will be there are certain tasks, and I also won't sugarcoat that in the future probably won't be necessary to that full extent, and be it very operational. I don't know. For us, for example, it was manual invoice checking processes. I simply couldn't accept to hire a person in 2025 who manually checks invoice discrepancies. That's crazy. And it's also, I mean, that is something you will always also find opportunities. People develop, there's fluctuation, there's people who want to learn new things. Use those opportunities to move the people in the right direction so that you avoid like these kind of situation. I think that's it's important not to avoid that fear in the organization, but to rather create the opportunity to grow. Because if you do it right, the organization will grow, and make sure that you don't need to scale your team in the same speed that you are growing your business, and then I think you can be fine.
Okay. I guess, Franziska, in your business, people are crucial. I mean, it's a service industry. You need people. I mean, do you foresee any less people?
I don't. I think it's an enhancement to the human interaction. So I think it makes the basic processes easier, but I don't think you can eliminate the human factor.
Okay. And you're not the most hated person within Gant?
No.
People are not scared looking you in the eye?
Not totally.
No. Okay, so you've not been responsible for mass layoffs yet?
No, what we try to do is more manage surge or drop of demand. So the AI helps our operation to run a more consistent number of staff without having suddenly all the staff working days and nights when there is, well, cancellation, I think, over the last
there's a lot
week
of people,
or so.
Yeah, a lot of people say we will have more free time. I mean, there will be, which again is good for the travel industry because they have to spend the free time going somewhere. So hopefully that's the case. There's a number of questions. I'm trying to sort of merge some of the questions together, and thank you for putting them through. There's a number of questions in terms of the restrictions and the legal, restrictions we have in terms of using AI and the difficulty in getting past those restrictions. Is something you are looking at and that you need to be aware of all the time. Franziska, I don't know.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. I mean, as a tourism body, I mean, we need to make sure we are compliant with data privacy, with GDPR. Transparent on, when is AI involved, I think is important to inform people. And I think, also to give a bit of ownership or you can decide how far AI is used. So, opt-in, opt-out kind of things, okay. I think are crucial.
Any issues from any of the rest of you on the regulations? I guess you have to study this a lot.
Yeah, so that was, before Gant even. So Gant acquired us a year and a half ago, and before that, my company was actually involved in identifying what would be the best way to run AI without running into a lot of issues, because we are handling PII, we are reading emails, we are handling chat. So how can we make sure that the data is not going to OpenAI, Anthropic, across boundaries to the US when GDPR does not allow that. So we work with the cloud vendors. We made sure that the model that we're using are watertight and the data doesn't leak back into the big tech vendors. And this is how we've been ensuring that there is no PII leaks and there is no our data used to retrain those models. And that was also one of the reasons we built our own internal, called Gant GPT. And we ask all our team to don't use ChatGPT, because even using in private, your data is captured and stored in the US. So we had this decision of, let's make sure that our data doesn't leak outside of our organization. We build our own system. It runs within our AWS environment and doesn't go anywhere else.
And I guess we will talk more about cybersecurity in a session and masterclass later on this afternoon. But there's, of course, another question that also came up, which, there's always the doomsday preachers. So now that we're putting all our trust into chatbots and AI and all the help, what happens when the internet crashes? Are we doomed? Are you doomed? Anna, are you doomed?
911.
Are you going to cry?
Yeah, very good question. I mean, we did see it at the airport, when the systems broke down and everything. The world went loose, absolutely. So we have to be prepared for that, for sure. I think there's a lot of regulatory bodies that need to work on a solution jointly. That would be the travel industry itself, the associations, governmental bodies. There has to be, I would say, also agents, or we as companies itself and technology firms, to have to work jointly on solutions and come up with a backup plan. I don't know if that exists out there already, but it does need to be there for sure. So, yeah. It hasn't happened at Hahn so far yet. I mean, we depend on the airlines, when their systems crash, of course. Yeah. But then again, we need to have tools that help with these kind of disruptions.
I mean, if we were always too scared of having new systems because we're afraid the system goes down, then, as so many other things in life, if we're too scared to do it, then we don't do anything, and then we just stand still, and that can't work either. But, I mean, do you have nightmares about systems? No, I'm not getting personal here.
I think
about systems crashing.
I think we will all get a day of digital detox on that day. I mean, obviously the industry is depending on technology, and I think we are a little bit beyond that point that we can completely live without it. I mean, it's not only travel that is dependent on technology and the internet. So let's enjoy the detox day.
Are you? I mean, is it part of your job to build the backup plan as well? And
I mean, look, if there's no internet, I think we'll have bigger problem than AI is down. And we've seen that. I think 3 weeks ago, AWS Eastern 1 was down, and suddenly half of the internet was off. Well, I think AI is not the problem here. And that being said, my role is to make sure that our system are not affected. We are multi-region, so if one region goes down, another region takes over. But yeah, if internet is not there.
Okay, there's some questions relating to...
There's always the flashcards.
There's what?
This was my room key. There's always the flashcards.
Of course.
As a backup.
As a pen, look at that.
There you go.
There's some questions relating to how travel agents can implement the AI. I'm going to save those to our next little session. In a second, we are really nearly out of time. So I'll give you slightly more than one word, but if you were to answer the first question here, how you view AI in maybe 10 words, as an opportunity, as a danger, as a risk, as something that will be a success, if you give us sort of your input, we start from this end this time.
Okay. So AI is sold as a silver bullet. It's not. It's just one more technology that can help you run your business. Now it's up to you to decide how you want to run your business. I see a lot of questions about layoff. Well, when Ford implemented automation, it laid off a lot of people because their target was a specific thing, some numbers. It's the same with your business. If you want to increase a certain number, you might want to implement AI. That will actually cost money. It's not free, but you will let go people. At the same time, in some other organization, the human interaction is more important than the technology. And I have 1 minute, maybe less. We have still doormans. They are still here. And people say, oh yeah, because they are not doing only opening the door, they are doing also all sorts of things. It's not really that. People like to be served by human, and they like interaction with humans. The AI can help accelerate a lot of things, but you will still need a human touch. When you talk to an AI agent that is actually very interesting and can talk like almost a human, you still are put off because it's not really a human touch. So.
Yeah, I think my recommendation would really be to focus on what you as an organization are really good at and how you can put that on in the focus and on the spot and support it with AI. Don't be afraid of it. Don't feel pressured that in all cases and aspects you have to implement all kinds of AI use cases and application. I think there are a couple that will really help you to be more efficient, that will help your teams, that will also actually make them enjoy their day-to-day life better, because to be honest, all these repetitive tasks is usually not the thing that delights your day. And use those opportunities and see or try to see where you can add value to the customer. And I think the human touch is a super important aspect of it, but I don't think that it's the only aspect of it. Also, your product, the quality, the experience you have is so important. And if you test the also AI-first companies that have evolved in the last 1 or 2 years, cool applications, really great user interfaces, but if you really check on product quality, how smart it really is, how great the recommendations really are, I think you as experienced travel agents are clearly still ways ahead and make use of these opportunities, and I think we will be fine in the future and your customers will be very happy.
Thank God for that. Franziska, very quickly.
Yeah, I see it as an exciting tool for travel. I think as it becomes, or it advances and it becomes predictive and real time, it can actually ease travel a lot. So if it can, for instance, tell you when a flight is delayed, it makes alternative suggestions for you, it replans your itinerary, that will be amazing for travelers. It will really ease the whole process. So yeah, exciting.
And final word.
Yeah, I think adding AI can actually make you a wonderful travel expert, because you could use AI for the simple tasks, whereas you can really focus on the more complex tasks. For instance, if you as an agent has empathy, or you have, know a little bit more about the ethical needs of the customer, or for instance, you need to organize a very romantic wedding vacation or wedding in the Seychelles or something like that, AI can't do that. Even AI will not be able to book a, last-minute camel ride on the Sahara Desert. So I think those are the specialty requests that we as humans will really focus on, and then on the nitty-gritty part that AI can do.
Join me in thanking Anna, Franziska, Irina, and Nico. Great panel. Thank you, guys.